I get very excited about the books that I get for Christmas. It's pretty much the only thing I ever want for Christmas because new books are so shiny and new, and I get a little obsessed with them. So I thought I would share with you guys what I got, and if you guys happen to have any like Amazon gift cards or Barnes & Noble gift cards that you got for Christmas, then you can take a look and maybe you might be interested in some of these. The first book I'm going to show you is Half a Lifelong Romance by Eileen Chang. It's set in the 1930s in Shanghai, and apparently it's considered a classic, although I know almost nothing about it, so I'm very excited to dig in. I really like reading Chinese literature, especially I've fallen in love with some Chinese short stories, and so I'm really excited to get into this one. The next one I got is a book by one of my favorite authors. I'm sure you've heard me talk about her before, Helen Oyeyemi. She is I've fallen in love with everything that I've read by her, and this is her latest book. It's actually a collection of short stories called What Is Not Yours Is Not Yours. She is a Nigerian-born author, but she is British, and she just has such an amazing way of weaving in the supernatural with the reality, and I don't know how to explain it, but she's one of those exquisite writers that you kind of you really wonder how is she doing what she's doing. So I'm very excited. Although I normally don't love reading short stories all the time, I know I'm gonna like it because it's Helen, my girl Helen. The next one is another Helen Oyeyemi book. This one's called White is for Witching. I don't even know what this one's about, to be honest. It's probably a creepy book. She's really good at the creepy. The Icarus Girl was like her first book, and it was just creepy enough for it to be perfect. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. This one is called This Censustaker by China Mayville, I think is how you say the name. I think the way I came across this book is it's a book that Helen Oyeyemi likes. I think that's what I said. So that is how I came across it. All of these books I requested. I don't know how your family does it, but give them links like these are the books that I want right now. And this kind of has definitely an air of mystery to it and supernatural. My next book that I got is The Queen of the Night by Alexander Chee. Again, I know almost nothing about this one, but I think I heard this recommended on some website. I'm not really sure. That's why I'm willing to give it a shot. This takes place in the Paris Opera. Yeah, that's about all I know about it. I kind of like going into books knowing almost nothing and just being surprised, but I just need someone to recommend them to me so I know that it's really good. And this is what I heard about this one. This one I'm very much looking forward to. It's called Forest Dark. I heard about this book on one of my favorite podcasts called Bookworm with Michael Silverblatt. I have mentioned him before on my channel. Definitely check out the podcast Bookworm. He recommends some really amazing books. This book is about basically a rich guy who decides to sell all of his possessions and then goes to Tel Aviv to have a kind of a life-changing experience. Apparently it's beautifully written, and it's everyone's really falling in love with it, and I think it must be still new because it's in hardcover. So isn't it a pretty cover? I'm really excited about this one, Forest Dark by Nicole Krauss. And another one that I found out about from Bookworm is The Familiar. This book is so heavy. It's huge and it's really cool because, oh sorry, this is by Mark Danielewski, and it's not like a traditional type of novel, if you guys can see. There are some pages that look traditional, but then there are other pages that look like this. And then he even has, let me see if I can find one, some illustrations. It's really just playing with the written word and how he can express the story. I know almost nothing about this story, except that this is part of a series. This is the first one, and don't quote me on this. I'll look it up and I'll put it on the screen here, but there are a lot to be expected of this series, and people are devouring it voraciously and demanding more, so the author is still writing these. It's a heavy one, so I don't know when I'm gonna start this one, but hopefully soon. I'm trying to get through my books quickly. The last book that I got is a honker also. This one cost apparently more money than was expected. It's like a graphic novel. It's called My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emil Ferris, another one that I found out about from Bookworm, from Michael Silverblatt. And this is about a young girl in the 1960s set against the political backdrop of, you know, all the stuff that was happening in the 60s. I assume the Cold War and things like that. And I'll just show you a little sample of what it looks like. Yeah, so I'm definitely excited. Currently, I am reading Pride and Prejudice for my very first time. I know that sounds crazy, but I actually saw the BBC version of Pride and Prejudice over a dozen times, the one with Colin Firth, the really long one that takes almost every scene in the book and portrays it in movie form, and I love it. It's like a family favorite of ours. So now I'm finally actually reading the book, and I'm really glad that I actually saw the film version first, because it's helping me really understand the characters. It's incredible. I really am enjoying this book, and I'm trying to get through it because I really want to get digging onto my new books. Currently it is December 26th, and we are still treating today like it's still Christmas, because yesterday was not relaxing at all. At least it was just, you know, a lot of family stuff, a lot of chopping and cooking and things like that. So I am drinking my tea and reading basically all day. Merry Christmas. That's it.